The comment of what has been a horrible news week goes to the judge in the Bruce Lehrmann Channel 10 Lisa Wilkinson defamation trial, who said, quote, "Having escaped the lion's den, Mr. Lehrmann made the mistake of going back for his hat." He should never have bothered with his defamation case. It was a risky move. Why? Because defamation trials are civil, not criminal, and they don't have the same rules of evidence and require the same standard of proof of guilt that a criminal trial does. So, as Ben Roberts-Smith learned the hard way also, you have a much higher chance of having a finding made against you that you were guilty of the thing that you were accused of. When Justice Lee said, "Mr. Lehrmann raped Ms. Higgins," he immediately followed it with, "I hasten to stress, this is a finding on the balance of probabilities." That's legal speak for, it's just more likely he did it than he didn't do it. Because that's all a judge in a defamation case like this is required to find. So there's still technically up to a 49% chance, even in Justice Lee's mind, that Bruce did not rape Brittany. But you'd never hear that from most of the Aussie media or the Salem witch hunt logic man-haters out there that the media sucks up to and has honest commentators. Can't blame them really. As I have learned, if you stand up for the legal principle of the presumption of innocence, especially in sexual assault cases in Australia, you get called a rape apologist. Nice culture we've got. I am no rape apologist. I happen to have very strong views that rape is a near capital offence and should have punishment attached to it likewise. I just like my criminals to actually be guilty before I fry them, and to have actually committed a real crime, not a modern academic feminist interpretation or variation of a crime. But hey, I'm old-fashioned. Just lynch the bastard. Who cares? He's a right-winger anyway, Liberal Party staffer, yucky, bleh. But really, our media is disgraceful. Ben Roberts-Smith is a murderer. Bruce Lehrmann is a rapist, they screamed, knowing full well the real story is more nuanced than that. But hey, that's too hard for the punters to understand, mate, so just run with the basic story, eh? Now look, I reckon Bruce is a fool. I'm no fan. His lack of judgment is legendary now. Why would you, having escaped the lion's den that is the ACT's train wreck of a criminal justice system, go back for more punishment from Australian lawyers and courts? Courts in this country are something to run away from, not towards. But hey, there's a 51% or more chance now that he is a filthy rapist in the mind of one pretty smart judge. But what's the lesson for young players here? In keeping with the theme of last week, our show about the need for old men like me to do a good bit of fathering and mentoring, here's some fatherly points about what young people should take out of all of this. First of all, young men must never place themselves in a situation where they're alone at work or anywhere with a woman outside a security camera surveillance area. Make sure you do everything possible to let people know where you are and what you're doing and why you're there. Secondly, young men must never, ever have sex with a drunk random girl. A trusted girlfriend or friend who is drunk, maybe, but be sure of consent. Australian law just does not permit you to do this. The cops are in every Australian bedroom now. No sex with random drunk girls, ever. Run into the first cold shower you can find. Thank you. Thirdly, women shouldn't get drunk without knowing how they will get home and should not go anywhere with a guy alone if drunk or have consensual sex with a guy when drunk, because you're putting yourself and him in serious danger if you do. It's true what the feminists keep saying, that victims of actual rape should never have to feel that they are to blame for their victimhood in any way. That is right. But I'm sorry to the radical feminists, this doesn't absolve women generally of the responsibility to just behave as mature adults in the way that they conduct themselves, to have a bit of class and take the necessary precautions not to get rolling drunk or high without a safe plan for getting home with girlfriends, or even better, alone. Rocking up to your workplace in the wee hours with a male workmate to crash out on the couch in your boss's office, that is just not normal behaviour. I'm sorry. It's a bit bloody odd. It doesn't mean, of course, that you should then get raped, but it's very, very irresponsible behaviour. Probably worth getting the sack for rather than 2 point whatever million dollars of taxpayers' money. But hey, I'm just old-fashioned. Did you like that content? If you did, there's a lot more where that came from. It comes from a show called The Other Side, and it drops every Friday at 8 p.m. on Australia's ADH.tv, which you can watch for free on any browser. Or you can watch us right here on YouTube. Just remember to please support us by subscribing. Punch that subscribe button and the little bell next to it. Do it now, please.